And anyway, that is everything we know about elites so far. There's not much there, obviously, but in the past few interviews, I have mentioned these things, and I thought I'd let everybody know what exactly I was talking about and why I was saying it. And again, this was all, everybody on Facebook probably knew this already, but I don't use Facebook. I'm a Reddit and Discord guy, so there you go. So we've got elites are 100% balanced for competitive play. We are keeping the points costs at 100, and command rosters are going to be absolutely vital. And let's not forget this. Like, subscribe to Glass Half Dead. Oh, kill me, fucking hell. Hello, everybody. Glass Half Dead here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about elites. Now, for those of you that have watched my interviews, you may have noticed over the past few weeks, like this knowledge has been out there for months, but I'm talking about it now because I'm lazy, I guess. Uh, Well, no, that's not true. I'm talking about this now because I had hoped that I wouldn't need to make this video. We'd have already had real information. But anyway, over the past few interviews, I have mentioned few little tidbits regarding elites and what we know about them so far. Well, I am now going to share with you how I know what I know, which, by the way, if you're on Facebook, you probably already know, uh, because all of this is public. But I don't use Facebook. I found out about this all from my Discord, basically. So, oh, Discord. There's a link, probably. You could join that if you want, I guess. You should also like and subscribe, because that's the thing, apparently. God, kill me now. Anyway, so up on screen, we have a random Facebook user saying, I can finally talk about it. Who is this random Facebook user? This is Mike Brandt. He is the organizer for Nova. Is it Nova? Yeah, no, definitely Nova. And he organizes all of the events, so Warhammer, 40k, Kill Team, etc. However, he is also a playtester, or was a playtester for Kill Team. Now, to very quickly answer some questions, in what way does a playtester know more than anybody else about anything? Officially, they don't. It's entirely possible that they were given the rules, they played the game, and then all of their feedback was just, we played it this way, your rules didn't make sense. That is a playtester. Mike Brandt claims to have a lot of regular, like daily, he says, feedback and communication with the guys that write the rules. I'm. He might be lying, might not be, don't know. But I have no way to verify anything. So that on its own, him being a playtester, could mean nothing, could mean a lot. However, he is also, as mentioned, the TO for Nova. So even if he's not a playtester, he is still a TO that is going to make rulings on rules. And so generally, if he comes out with an answer to a rules query, I'll probably go with that. I mean, it could still be debated, and I think there was even one rules question where he even said that, yeah, no, it's written the wrong way. So he's actively said, ignore how it's written, play it this way, which obviously is terrible, terrible uh, way to play the game. But I would still go with what he says, just because ultimately he is going to be the one that rules on things. So anyway, that is Mike Brandt. I've never spoken to the man in person or on Facebook at all. The tweet, it's not a tweet, the Facebook post he has up here, I can finally talk about it in caps because that's obviously, yeah. He's talking about elites. I believe this was posted like the day or the day after, um, where of elites being announced. Obviously, he already knew elites were a thing. He says some really interesting stuff. Let's take a look. So, some guy asks, I have to ask, will elites include new entries for competitive play? Great question. The answer, of course, is Elites was balanced for competitive play. Yes. For what it's worth, I don't think Commanders really have a place there, but Elites absolutely. Now, that's fascinating. Oh. Okay, so anyway, let's cover the basics. Elites will be in balanced competitive play. This is awesome. This gives everybody a new set of units and potentially tactics cards, etc., that they can use in tournaments. Now, I'm aware that there have been like commanders tournaments and stuff, but they obviously haven't really caught on, and that kind of thing is never going to be supported by Games Workshop themselves. However, the implication here is that Games Workshop is in fact going to, put elites into their future events packets. And that means they will become official. And of course, GW making something officially used means that people are going to adopt it because that's how life works. And even if for some reason they don't, we know here that Mike Brandt is a big TO and he is saying that yes, they will be used. So there we go. Elites will be used in competitive play, which for me is actually a huge weight off my mind because I feel like Commanders just went nowhere. Like anyway, however, somewhat shockingly, he does also say, for what it's worth, I don't think Commanders really have a place there. There being competitive play. Why? Why on earth would a company release an entire book and model range half-assedly supported, let's be honest, but released nonetheless, that wasn't balanced? Absolute idiots, honestly. I have I am holding off from a video that is just slagging off Games Workshop at the moment because this on its own is absolute bullshit, if I'm honest. I'm trying to really rein my language in a lot here, guys. I think it's irresponsible and it's. Let's move on. What's the next picture? Because otherwise, this will become my video where I slag GW off. Mike Brandt says, I'm trying to say commanders were not really approached from a balance and design perspective for competitive play. That doesn't mean many of them might not be incidentally okay in competitive play, but I do not foresee ever changing the balance point from 100. Jerry rigging the system, it's jury rigging by the way, to try and fit a square peg into a round hole won't do much for the game, and it's not very IP common either. Okay, so quickly unpacking what he says there. So this is very much him just following on from the previous, that commanders were never balanced. He's just kind of agreeing that yeah, they weren't. So yeah, I don't know what I can really add to this. I think it's absolute bollocks that they would release an entire expansion not designed to be balanced. Absolutely ridiculous. However, the more interesting thing that I'm going to focus on so that I don't go crazy is that this is a TO talking about competitive play, and he clearly says he does not foresee ever changing the balance point from 100. Cool. However, this gives us a huge implication. Okay, so he has just said elites will have competitive options. Then he says competitively, they are not going to change the points from 100. Cool. This implies that elites, whatever they are still going to be balanced around 100-point games. Now, we don't know to what degree that's going to be. My instant thought, and me on Discord, we've hashed this out a few times. What does that mean for the new faction we know that's coming, the Custodes? Are we going to be able to get 3 because 3 is the minimum model amount? That's why I say 3 into 100 points. That's interesting. That's cool. That gives us an idea of how much they might cost. There's no need to look at 40k for their points cost because Games Workshop hasn't kept points consistent across the systems, so I wouldn't say that really gives us any ideas. For example, a Lictor, of course, in Kill Team, 25 points, but in 40k is in the 80s, 80 points. So yeah, uh, so this is cool. I like this. I like that. Well, I don't know. To be honest, I actually was quite taken by and coming around to the idea that that we were going to be playing like 150 points, no commanders. I was really enjoying that idea actually, but so be it. So be it. What can I do? What can I do? And then just to quickly unpack the sentence at the end there when he mentions it's not very IP common either. That's just him confirming that something we all know that Games Workshop doesn't give a shit about balance. Cool. Across all their IPs. And then he says, also, this will start to make it even more obvious why we make command rosters a fundamental part of the core game. It's impossible to leverage and respond to elites correctly without using a proper command roster. Cool. So, Mike Brandt previously has mentioned just generally that he felt people were not using command rosters enough back in the earlier days, before Arena came out, I believe. So this is very much in line with what he's thought before. If this is true, if what he says is true, this is great news. Suddenly, right now, there are some armies that don't need to consider what they take. Let's take, for example, Elliot's Adepticon winning list, which was, I think, 3 Plague Marines and 16 Poxwalkers. That was the list. He never needed to change it. He won every game. The only time he lost was when he changed the list. Presumably, one would hope there would be an elites option that just handily tackles hordes. Who knows? Who knows? That's the dream. That's the dream. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe a crisis battle suit is an anti-horde. Give it what? 2 flamers and a missile pod? And it's got fly? You'll just wreck anything within 8 inches of you. Or, you know what? Screw it. Give it 3 missile pods. Destroy the world. It'll be amazing. Anyway, I hope what he says here is true. I hope we get a bit more variation between lists. And obviously we will because we are just straight up having more models added. So that's great. I'm excited for this. And then he says this, and I shouldn't have included this picture because it's not relevant. But yeah. And anyway, that is everything we know about elites so far. There's not much there, obviously, but in the past few interviews, I have mentioned these things, and I thought I'd let everybody know what exactly I was talking about and why I was saying it. And again, this was all, everybody on Facebook probably knew this already, but I don't use Facebook. I'm a Reddit and Discord guy, so there you go. So we've got elites are 100% balanced for competitive play. We are keeping the points cost at 100, and command rosters are going to be absolutely vital. And let's not forget this: like, subscribe to Glass Half Dead. Oh, kill me, fucking hell. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a great day. See you next time. Bye.